Unit 1, Introduction to Signals and Systems, Part 3. So, what is signal? Signal is a continuous time signal x of t, or it is a discrete time signal x of n, and it is a function of independent continuous variable t, or in discrete form it is a discrete variable n. So signal is function which represents a physical quantity, and typically it contains information about the behavior or the nature of phenomenon. From the communication point of view, a signal is any function that carries some information. The radio and the television signals are propagated through a free space, and by radio and television receivers are converted into sound and picture. The long distance data communication through internet is carried out using electrical signals. In addition to the communication, signals are used in medical diagnosis, the geophysical investigation, stock market analysis, meteorological and demographical studies, etc. So, the discrete time signal x of n is defined for the integer values of independent variable, and it can be obtained from continuous time signal by sampling the continuous time signal at the time instant separated by the time interval interval sampling t. So, an electrical engineer's word is one of the signal. It describes the signal as a electrical or electromechanical encoded data. Even with this, a narrow definition, there are so many types of the signal that classifying them by a physical characteristic or other methods helps organize the type of the equipment needed, the test procedure and the measurement equipment required, as well as address any safety concerns or regulations. Now, classifying signals helps in analyzing, processing, and validating circuits. Signals can be classified by any of their physical properties, their intended use, and their visual and mathematical properties. The same signal may be classified in more than one way depending on what the system is doing and how the signals are used. The specific field of engineering may emphasize one way to classify one signal versus another, and each field may classify signal differently, adding more detail as they continue their research, like in acoustic power or EEG signals. The broadcast engineers might work in the cabled system or over the air signals like analog or RF. Now, within software operating system, the signals can indicate error, normal interrupt, illegal event, and take a direct action. The circuit designers and system engineers work on a variety of systems. The way they classify signals may refer to individual signals or the entire system which handles that a type of signal. Many times, a mathematical representation of signal is possible, and it helps in the analysis. The signal may be classified by a time continuity, that is a continuous signal which has a values for all the values of time without break or areas where the signal doesn't exist. The sine and cosine waveforms are the continuous, whereas the tangent waveform has discontinuous where values doesn't exist. Where values don't exist, the discrete signals have values at only specific time. A sampling circuit yields a signal values only for the times for the sampling takes place. So the signals may be classified according to the visual nature of the waveform. So signal is described as a function of one or more independent variables. Basically, it is a physical quantity and it varies with some independent or dependent variable. Signals can be one-dimensional or multi-dimensional. So, a function of one or more variable that convey the information on the nature of physical phenomenon. For example, V of t, I of t and X of t or blood pressure, temperature, vibrations are the example of signal. Now, one-dimensional signals are function depend on a single variable, for example, speech signal, and multi-dimensional signal, that is function depend on two or more variable, for example, image. Now, signals can be one dimensional, two dimensional, three dimensional, or four dimensional. Now, one dimensional signal is speech or music or computer data. So, speech invokes the transfer of information from the speaker to the listener, and such a transfer of information takes place in three stages such as production, propagation, and perception. The band of the frequencies that are required for the speech communication is 300 Hz to 3100 Hz, and this band is utilized for the commercial telephonic communication. Then music signal is originated from the instruments such as piano, violin, etc. The musical note may last for a short time or for a longer time depending upon the instrument being used for its organization. The music signal has two possible structures such as melodic structure or harmonic structure. The music signal is a bipolar signal and it requires a bandwidth of about 15 kilohertz. So the channel bandwidth required for the transmission of the music signal is much larger than the required for the transmission of speech signal. Now the picture can either be a static or dynamic. For example, the picture sent by the fax machine is a static picture, and the pictures that is produced on the TV is an example of dynamic picture. Now the TV camera produces a dynamic picture which is reproduced at the receiving end by the picture tube. The electrical equivalent of the dynamic picture is produced at the output of the camera and it is called as a typical video signal. The bandwidth required for this video signal is 0 to 5 MHz. The video signal consists of the luminous signal and the chrominance signal. Then computer data. The personal computers are used for the electronic mail, exchange of software and sharing of the resources. The text transmitted by a computer is encoded using American Standard Code for information interchange. Each character in ASCII is represented by the 7 data bits. Hence, the total 27, that is equal to 128 characters, can be represented using ASCII. The 7 data bits are ordered starting from the MSB B7 and LSB B1. Extra bit B8 is used as a parity bit for the purpose of error detection. So next, this is all about the introduction of the signal. So next is classification of signal, continuous time and continuous time versus discrete time signal. So usually a discrete time signal xn is obtained from a continuous time signal x of t by sampling xn is equal to x of n t. So n is equal to 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2 dot dot for some fixed t. A signal is said to be continuous when it is defined for all instants of time. The signal is said to be discrete when it is defined at only discrete instants of time. The signal may also be classified by the time continuity, that is a continuous signal which has the values for all the values of time without break, or the areas where the signal doesn't exist. The sine and cosine waveforms are continuous, whereas the tangent waveforms has a discontinuous where values doesn't exist. So a discrete signal have the values at only specific time. A sampling circuit yields the signal values only for the time the sampling takes place. So this diagram shows, the first diagram is the continuous signal and the second diagram is a discrete signal. The continuous time complex exponential signal is given by x of t is equal to c e raised to at. Now c and a are in general real and complex number. Depending upon the value of these parameter, the complex exponential signal can take on several different characteristics. If c and a are real, then there are basically two types of behavior. The CT signal, that is continuous time signal, take on real or complex values as a function of an independent variable that ranges over the real number and are denoted by x of t. And the DT signal take on real or complex values as a function of independent variable that ranges over the integer and are denoted as x of n. Now note that the subtle use of the now analog signals are human voice. It is the best example. Second is the ear recognizes the sounds that is 20 kilohertz or less. AM radio 535 kilohertz or to 1605 kilohertz. FM is 88 megahertz to 108 megahertz. And the digital signals are represented by the square wave. So all the data represented by the binary number or by binary values. The single binary digit is called as bit. The transmission of continuous group of bits is a bit stream. Here the not all the decimal values can be represented by the binary. Next is deterministic and non-deterministic signal. Next is deterministic and non-deterministic signal. A signal is said to be deterministic if there is no uncertainty with respect to its value at any instant of time, or the signals, which can be defined exactly by a mathematical formula, are known as a deterministic signal. So deterministic signal is x of t is x of t is equal to x of t0. It is a number which has no uncertainty. A signal is said to be non-deterministic if there is uncertainty with respect to its value at some instant of time. Non-deterministic signals are random in nature, as they are called random signals. The random signals cannot be described by the mathematical equation. They are modeled in parabolistic terms. The random signals x of t is denoted by x of t0. It is a random variable with some probability specification. X of t is random signal which is equal to random process, that is stochastic process. So the if we are familiar with modeling and analysis program, then we have worked with the signals that are classified as deterministic or random signal. The deterministic signal can be predicted by the past behavior and totally captured the mathematical equation. All possible outcomes are known and there are no risk factors. The deterministic signals are useful in communication where knowing the exact values of carrier signal is important for modulation technique. The random signals are not predictable and these are represented by probabilistic function familiar from probability theory like the Poisson's function. The circuit noise is usually modeled as and is a random signal. Somewhat similar are causal signals, though it's tempting to look at the causal waveform graph and think they have to do with timing. The causality is result of how the system was modeled. So the deterministic signal, it has the behavior of this signal is predictable with respect to time. There is no uncertainty with respect to its value at any time. These signals can be expressed mathematically as, for example, x of t is equal to sine of 3t is deterministic signal. Now the random signal, behavior of this signal is random, that is not predictable with respect to time. There is an uncertainty with respect to its value at any time. These signals cannot be expressed mathematically. For example, thermal noise generated is non-deterministic signal. So this is diagram. Next is even and odd signals. So the signal is said to be even if it satisfies the condition x of t is equal to x of minus t. So for example t2, t4, these are the examples. Now consider x of t is equal to t2, then x of minus t is equal to minus t of 2. So t2 is equal to x of t, t2 is even function. Now signal is said to be odd when it satisfies the condition x of t the condition x of t is equal to minus of x of minus t. So t, t3 and sin t, these are the examples. Now consider x of t is equal to sin t, so x of minus t is equal to sin of minus t. So it is minus sin t, that is equal to minus of x of t. Sin t is odd function. Even signals are symmetrical about the y-axis. Mathematically, fx is equal to f of minus x, or we can say x of t is equal to x of minus t. A point x and y would have the same value of the point at minus of x comma y. So the Fourier series decomposes a signal into a sum of sines and cosines. So fs is equal to a0 plus summation of a n sin n plus summation of b n cosine of n, where a0 is the DC component and each term has associated amplitude and trigonometric component sine and cosine. Even signals result when only cosine components compose the signal. The cosine itself is an even signal and symmetric about the y-axis. Now the odd signals are symmetrical about the origin. Mathematically, f of t is equal to minus of f of minus t. The Fourier series of odd signal only have the sine components. The sine itself is an odd signal and symmetric about the origin. Symmetric about the origin. So a signal can be decomposed into even and odd signals. Now next is periodic and aperiodic signals. So, a signal is said to be periodic if it satisfies the condition x of t is equal to x of t plus capital T, or x of n is equal to x of n plus capital N, where t is fundamental time period. So 1 by t is f, that is fundamental frequency. Now the signal shown in this figure, it will repeat for every time interval t0, hence it is periodic with period t0. The periodic signal has the property that x of t plus t is equal to x of small t for all the values of t. The smallest value of capital T that satisfies the definition is called a period. The signals may be classified according to the visual nature of the waveform. The periodic signal repeat within a given time period, mathematically represented by the equation x of t is equal to x of t plus capital T, where capital T is the period, that is 1 by frequency. So the periodic signals exist in both SC, that is analog, and DC, that is digital system. Like the sine wave or the digital system clock signal. Now, periodic signal do not repeat. Some mathematical tools are only available for the periodic signals. The Fourier series was developed for the use of periodic signal. To be used on a periodic signal, the signal was treated as a periodic signal with an infinite period. This allowed the Fourier transform to be used for all signals. If the signal does not satisfy this x of t property, then it is called as non-periodic. The discrete time signal is periodic signal. If its frequency can be expressed as the ratio of two integers, that is f is equal to k by n, where k is integer constant. So first is cos of 0.01 pi n. So periodic n is equal to 200 samples per cycle. Cos of 3 pi n sin 3n. For cos of 3 pi n, periodic n equal to 2 samples. Sin 3n is non-periodic. Cos of n by 8. Cos of pi n by 8 is non-periodic. Next is energy and power signal. A signal is said to be energy signal when it has a finite energy. So energy is equal to integration minus infinity to infinity x square of t dt. And a signal is said to be power signal when it has a finite power. So power is equal to limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integration minus t to t x square of t dt. Now, discrete time signals are also classified as a finite energy or finite average power signal. The energy of the discrete time signal xn is summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x square of n, and the average power for a discrete time signal is given by this the equation a limit n tends to n is equal to infinity, summation of n equal to minus infinity to infinity x square, right? If energy is finite and power is 0 for xn, then xn is an energy signal. If power is finite and energy is infinite, then xn is a power signal. There are some signals which are neither energy nor a power signals. There are some difference between the power and the energy difference points. The power signal has infinite duration. Energy signal has a finite duration. The power signal normalized power is finite and non-zero. In energy signal, the normalized energy is finite and non-zero. In power signal, the normalized energy averaged or over the infinite time is infinite. In energy signal, the normalized power averaged over infinite time is 0. In power signal, mathematically it is trackable. Energy signal, it is physically realizable. Next is, now note that the signal cannot be both energy and power simultaneously. Also, a signal may be neither energy nor a power signal. Power of the energy signal is 0 and energy of the power signal is infinity. Now next is real and imaginary signals. A signal is said to be real when it satisfies the condition x of t is equal to x of star t. A signal is said to be odd when it satisfies the condition x of t is equal to minus x of star of, or we can say complex conjugate of t, not complex conjugate, x of star of t. For example, if x of t is 0, then x star of t is 3 star, that is 3. Here xt is real signal. If xt is equal to 3j, then x star of t is equal to 3j star, that is minus 3j, that is equal to x minus of x of t. Hence xt is odd signal. For real signal, imaginary part should be 0. Similarly, for an imaginary signal, real part should be 0. Next is causal and non-causal signal. The causal signals are that are 0 for all negative time. The causality in the system makes the most sense. The causality in signals doesn't make that much sense. Causality in system determine whether a system relies on future information of signal x of n plus 1. When talking about causality in signal, we mean whether they are 0 to the left of t equal to 0 of 0 to the right of t equal to 0. A causal signal is 0 for t less than 0. However, the reason why this doesn't really make sense is that if you have a signal, the time t equal to 0 can be chosen arbitrarily. Non-causal means that the response of the system needs to start before the excitation. For example, if we add an impulse to the input at certain time t, then normal causal system will start responding from time t plus 1, t plus 2. And non-causal system will start its response before the input. For example, t minus 10, t minus 9 dot dot t and t plus 1 dot dot. This is of course not a natural system because it would need to predict the future and start responding before the input. So causal signal is 0 for t less than 0 and non-causal signal is 0 for t greater than 0. A right-sided signal is 0 for t less than capital T and left-sided signal is 0 for t greater than capital T, where capital T can be positive or negative. The causal signals are only determined from the past or present conditions as input. When system starts at t equal to 0, the following data are computed from the initial conditions and then generated from the previous result. The system can continue to infinity. Control system illustrate this behavior. The non-causal signal waveforms have value and it result from any time t less than 0 and t greater than 0. Now there is one more type of the system, that is synchronous as asynchronous. The digital signals systems have a signals that are divided into a controller data signal. The control signal may be classified as a synchronous and asynchronous. The repetitive periodic clock signal drive the timing for the logic and processing functions. When the logic levels all change state based on the timing of the clock, the signals are synchronized to clock. The logic level at the input of the component only take effect with the timing of the clock signal. The synchronous signals have output logic states changing anytime regardless of the clock cycle. The reset signal can be received anytime and cause the output levels to go to the predetermined state regardless of the clock timing. The asynchronous signal can also provide handshaking and other protocols of accommodate shower or external peripherals. Now, bounded versus unbounded signal. Every system is bounded, but meaningful signal is always bounded. So this is all about the classification of signals. Sorry, the one more signal type is remaining, that is the real and imaginary signal. A signal is said to be a real when it satisfies the condition xt equal to x of star t, and it is odd when it satisfies the condition x of t equal to minus x of star of t. So this is all about the classification of signal. Thank you.